My holiness is my salvation. Your holiness is your salvation. What's good, fam? We made it to lesson 39 of A Course in Miracles. And today we are reading one of my favorite lessons. And today we are going to understand that the only thing me and you need to be saved from is our unloving thoughts. All those thoughts that we have: worry, doubt, fear, anger, the depression, all those fearful thoughts that make me and you feel like we are separated from God, make us feel like we are separated from each other, separated from the world, make us feel like we are cut off from our abundance. And any emotion that is not love and joy and happiness is unloving, and it is only from those that me and you need to be saved from. So let's dive straight into this, and we're going to talk more about it together, and we're going to enjoy this time together today for lesson 39. We're going to enjoy each other's presence right now in this moment. We're going to be woke right now in this moment. Me and you are awake in the dream, and this is just such a great time to be alive. So if you got the book, you already know what to do. Pull up to lesson 39. And if you don't got the book yet, this lesson may want to make you get the book. But for the meantime, go ahead and pull up the PDF, which is in the description, and let's read this together. Lesson 39 of A Course in Miracles. My holiness is my salvation. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? Like the text for which this workbook was written, the ideas used for the exercises are very simple, very clear, and totally unambiguous. We are not concerned with intellectual feats nor logical toys. We are dealing only in the very obvious, which has been overlooked in the clouds of complexity in which you think you think. Already, it's snapping us in check, putting us in check, letting us know that our whole lives we have been believing that this state of mind was so complex. We have been believing that there's something outside of us that is going to fix our problems. And that's the first false premise right there. There is really no problems, because our perception is the only thing that needs to be restored back to its natural state, so that way we could perceive the love and light and the beauty that this world actually is. If we believe it's anything other than that, it is because we are perceiving anything other than that. We are perceiving fear, but the only reason we can perceive fear is because of the lens we are viewing the world from, and we are in complete control of the lens we view the world from. So let's go ahead and dive into this, but just know it's very simple. Truth is right beneath our eyes 24/7. The sun is always shining, and the only reason why we can't see the sun when we look up is because there may be clouds blocking the sun, but that doesn't mean the sun is not there. And same thing goes with me and you. Me and you are love and light. We are light. We are the sun. And whenever we don't know that in any given moment, it is only because of the clouds of complexity that are hindering us from perceiving the light that we are. It is only from the clouds that me and you have made in our mind, because of the images and perception of fear we believe exists, that we're projecting out into the world, that is causing us to not see the real world, the real truth of who you are, the real truth of who we think our enemies are, who we think all these people are. We are all the same. So let's go ahead and dive into this and then be mind blown, because that was only the first section, first paragraph of the chapter, and it's already coming in strong. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? This is not difficult, surely. The hesitation you may feel in answering is not due to the ambiguity of the question. But do you believe that guilt is hell? If you did, you would see at once how direct and simple the text is, and you would not need a workbook at all. No one needs practice to gain what is already his. Bar. No one needs practice to gain what is already his. Me and you are light. We are love. We are literally a reflection, an extension of God, of pure positive source energy, of abundance, of vitality, of clarity, of knowingness, of knowledge, of happiness, of joy. We are literally that. And no one needs practice to gain what is already his. That's already ours in this moment. We just have to remove any unloving thoughts that are causing us to be unable to perceive what we are and what we have. We have already said that your holiness is the salvation of the world. What about your own salvation? You cannot give what you do not have. A Savior must be saved. How else can he teach salvation? Powerful. Today's exercises will apply to help you, recognizing that your salvation is crucial to the salvation of the world. As you apply the exercises to your world, the whole world stands to benefit. So, real quick, what I want to say is that, like, whenever you hear the term world peace, all world peace means is collective peace. If every single individual on this planet right now had inner peace, there would be world peace, because if everyone had inner peace, they would understand that they are always the problem, if we could even call it that. They are always the ones who are harboring the fear within, and the only reason why they're seeing fear out there is because it's within. But if every single one of us had inner peace, the whole world would be peaceful. Now, we're not going to talk about world peace right now, but we are going to talk about how your salvation, you knowing what we know right now in this moment, and you understanding that the only thing you need to be saved from is your unloving thoughts, and then removing anything that is unloving so that way you could perceive the real world. That is you saved. That is you awake to the fact of who you really are, and you are pure. And when you are in that state of mind, the state of enlightenment that me and you are both together communicating in right now, when we are in this state, we are in the position to save others, meaning that me and you are saved whenever we reach this state of enlightenment, and there's nothing that could push our buttons, and we've remembered who we really are. Now we can help others remember who they really are, and understand that the only thing they need to be saved from is not having enough money, is not fixing something that's broken, is not trying to get some material item, or not trying to get this relationship. None of those things in this world are going to save you. The only thing that is going to save you, that me and you are teaching through the clarity of our example by being in the state of mind, is that there is nothing to fear, and you do not need practice to gain what is already yours. Teaching everybody that they are already whole right now. There is no lack that exists within you whatsoever. Although you may perceive otherwise, it is only just that, a perception that you have made in your mind, is what we are going to teach them. And it's going to be a great time for them, because anybody remembering this state of being is like being born again. It's literally like being a child again for the first time, and seeing this world through the eyes of truth, which is love, light. You are excited, you are eager to go talk and play and run around, and you know that you deserve everything you want, because you know who you are when you're a child. And it's only whenever the people around you who are perceiving lack, the images that they have made, don't believe that they could provide this thing to you, and therefore you pick up that lack. But me and you today are unlearning that, and because we've unlearned that in this moment, we can help others unlearn that too. But for example, if I was not in this state of mind, and I'm here saying, my holiness is my salvation, so it's possible that we could be saved, and we just have to do this. If I wasn't in the state of mind that I'm currently in now, if I was in the state of mind that I just enacted just now, I wouldn't be able to help nobody. Because if I'm on let's just say we're in a building, right, and it has 20 stories. If I'm on the 10th story, I could only raise somebody up to the 10th story. I can't put somebody higher than I'm at, because my state of mind is what I'm lifting them up to. So because I'm at level 20, I can lift up to level 20 as well. And the cool thing about what we are experiencing is that there is no end to the levels. There is only growth and expansion. Whenever you reach enlightenment, there is only up. There can never be no end. It is only up. And whenever you are keeping up with who you really are, which is pure positive source energy, when you are allowing yourself to flow with the non-physical part of you, with all that is, with God, whenever you allow yourself to flow and keep that alignment, first of all, you'll know if you're doing so because you'll feel great, you'll feel amazing, you'll feel good. And if you are not allowing yourself in any moment to keep up with who you really are, you will feel negative emotion because you are causing sort of a tug of war. Let's just say this is who you really are, which is love, light in this moment, who we are being right now. And we are like that right now, we feel good. But in any moment we fall asleep, it is because we are thinking thoughts that are not matching our real perception, our real truth and knowledge. We are perceiving lack. Therefore, and this part's always expanding, always expanding. So it's creating this gap, and me and you are the ones in charge of either widening that gap or closing that gap, and or no gap at all, like we feel right now in this moment. It's really simple, and me and you have been learning how to do this for the past 39 days, and it's great because the more and more we practice this, like we always say, it is going to come easier and easier and easier till practice is no longer necessary because we have learned who we really are and what we really are, and we have learned how to maintain that alignment forevermore. It's such a great experience. So remember, because you are keeping up with who you really are and you're at the highest level right now, you can show somebody the way. You, just by being who you are, not even opening your mouth, are going to vibrate in a way that people who are in that vibrational vicinity are going to be lifted up. And most likely you're going to just want to say something of this nature to somebody who you know is in the vicinity because you know they're going to get it. And it's just so exciting to discuss what we're discussing right now because who wouldn't be excited to remember that me and you are love and light and we fell asleep and now we're discussing about how we're waking up in this world. It's such a pleasure to do this right now. So let's go ahead and continue reading and then we'll talk more about this. Where we at? Your Holiness is the answer to every question that was ever asked, is being asked now, or will be asked in the future. Your Holiness means the end of guilt and therefore the end of hell. Your Holiness is the salvation of the world and your own. How could you, to whom your holiness belongs, be excluded from it? God does not know unholiness. Can it be he does not know his son? Mic drop. Such a bar right there. So we're going to read that one more time and I was going to talk about it, but I really don't believe that needs any more words because it says exactly what it says. So I'm going to read that one more time. How could you, to whom your holiness belongs, be excluded from it? God does not know unholiness. Can it be he does not know his son? Can it be he does not know you? It cannot be. Spoiler alert. He knows you, and therefore you are holy because everything God creates is holy because God creates like himself and God is holy. Can it be that a part of God's mind is sinful and therefore other than what he is? It cannot be. So be glad because me and you are very holy. We are a part of God's mind. Begin the practice periods as usual. Oh, my bad. Getting way too excited here. A full 5 minutes are urged for the 4 longer practice periods for today, and longer and more frequent practice sessions are encouraged. If you want to exceed the minimum requirements, more rather than longer sessions are recommended, although both are suggested. Begin the practice periods as usual by repeating today's idea to yourself. Then, with closed eyes, search out your unloving thoughts in whatever form they appear. Uneasiness, depression, anger, fear, worry, attack, insecurity, and so on. Whatever form they take, they are unloving and therefore fearful. And so it is from them that you need to be saved. That is it. There is no source of evil out there. There is only love and resisting that love to whatever degree that you may be resisting the love. There is nothing I need to fear. The only time I am worried is because I am not in my right mind. The only time whenever I feel uneasiness, depression, anger, fear, worry, attack, insecure, for any reason that I may think, that is what I need to be saved from in that moment. And whenever I am returned back to the state I am in right now, there is nothing to be saved from. And now, because I'm in the state, I can be a magnet. I could be the receiver of all the good that is already around me. I could be more present in my conversations. I could feel where people are coming from, and I could reciprocate that energy in a way that will lift them up and save them as well. I can enjoy the more subtleties of music. Whenever I listen to music, I can enjoy the things that most people don't hear because their ears are not focused that deep into the mix. But because we are more focused and we are more in the moment and receiving the benefits of this, everything this world has to offer, we notice the little subtleties of life, whether that's the subtleties in music or in sound, the subtleties in texture, in clothing, the subtleties of taste when you're drinking wine or whenever you're eating food, the subtleties in sight when you're looking at a piece of art and you see the beauty that is hidden in the depths of this painting. And smell and sense, when you smell cologne or perfume or any other scent, you are able to more finally recognize it, because me and you are becoming more finely tuned instruments, because me and you are already very finely tuned instruments, and the only reason why we are not perceiving as finely as we could is because me and you have had some blockages that are causing us not to perceive as fully as we can. So this is just something so amazing that we're learning, because life becomes so much fuller and we can finally begin to live life to the fullest as we intended before we stepped into this physical body. Specific situations, events, or personalities you associate with unloving thoughts of any kind are suitable for today's exercises. One more time. Specific situations, events, or personalities you associate with unloving thoughts. My cousin, I don't like my cousin because of this. This person, I don't like them because of this. My coworker did this to me a week ago, and I talked about it the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. It's a whole week, and I'm still talking about what I don't like about this person. All of those personalities that we associate with unloving thoughts, we are keeping ourselves in hell because we are not letting that go. That is the only reason why we feel we need to be saved. And we may not know it, but that is the only reason. And when we see these people who we harbor unloving thoughts about as who they really are, which is who you really are, which is love and light, then there you go. You have it. You have true perception. And there's nothing better than that. So, one more time, specific situations, events, whether it's finances, whether it's relationships, whatever it may be, you associate with unloving thoughts of any kind, you are suitable, any kinds are suitable subjects for today's exercises. It is imperative for your salvation that you see them differently, and it is your blessing on them that will save you and give you vision. Slowly, without conscious selection and without undue emphasis on any one in particular, search your mind for every thought that stands between you and your salvation. Beautifully said. Search your mind for every thought that stands between you and your salvation. Apply the idea for today to each of them in this way. My unloving thoughts about blank are keeping me in hell. My holiness is my salvation. Let's go ahead and do a few before we begin to finish up this lesson. My unloving thoughts about my bank account are keeping me in hell. My holiness is my salvation. My unloving thoughts about my relationship or lack of relationship are keeping me in hell. My holiness is my salvation. My unloving thoughts about what this person did to me a few years back that I can't get over are keeping me in hell. My holiness is my salvation. You may find these practice periods easier if you intersperse them with several short periods during which you merely repeat today's idea to yourself slowly a few times. You may also find it helpful to include a few short intervals in which you just relax and do not seem to be thinking of anything. Sustained concentration is very difficult at first. It will become much easier as your mind becomes more disciplined and less distractible, which is what me and you have been learning for the past 39 days. Me and you have been learning how to become less distractible and to be more disciplined. We are literally in a course of mind training right now, and that is pretty cool if you ask me, because we are learning how to use this tool of ours. And when we know how to use this tool, first by unlearning everything that is false, next by gaining what is true, and third finally being in that state of mind where you could create and think a thought and have it come to pass as quick as you allow it, it's like you're a magician. Trust me. We are going to get to that point together, but for now, let's focus on the basics and then we can talk about the magic. Now, let's go ahead and continue. Meanwhile, you should feel free to introduce variety into the exercise periods in whatever form appeals to you. Do not, however, change the idea itself as you vary the method of applying it. However you elect to use it, the idea should be stated so that its meaning is the fact that your holiness is your salvation. End each practice period by repeating the idea in its original form, once more adding, if guilt is hell, what is its opposite? In the shorter applications, which should be made some 3 or 4 times an hour or more if possible, you may ask yourself this question. Repeat today's idea, and preferably both. If temptations arise, a particularly helpful form of the idea is, my holiness is my salvation from this. And that concludes lesson 39 of A Course in Miracles. We're going to stop right there. One more thing I do want to say, though, before we do stop, is just to clarify this last section of the text. It states that throughout the day, if temptations arise, a particularly helpful form of the idea is, my holiness is my salvation from this. So remember, everything we're learning is like tools that we are putting in our mental arsenal. We are literally putting tools in our tool belt, and we just have to be aware in any moment we are tempted to think worry, doubt, fear, or unloving thoughts. In that moment, when we fall asleep, what we are going to do is remember today's lesson, and then we are going to say, my holiness is my salvation from this. You are driving and you get a flat tire and you're feeling frustrated, and you remember the text, my holiness is my salvation from this. If you're looking at your bank account and you're seeing that you believe there's lack there, you're going to say, my holiness is my salvation from this. And whatever else that may be going on in your life, and whatever else that I may think that is going on in my life, if I experience something that is unloving and I fall asleep to who I really am, which is love and light and abundance, I am going to repeat, my holiness is my salvation from this situation that I believe is currently happening in front of me right now. And that is going to be where we conclude today's lesson. I will catch you tomorrow for lesson 40 of A Course in Miracles, and may you have a great, wonderful rest of your day.